Well, I was born on a cross river, Asturias, northern Spain, in a small but tough town, still unconquered land. I could have followed the current, but I took the road less traveled.
Oye, amigo, it's life on never-ending battle. Oye, amigo, when you say the road less traveled, yeah.
You look like a journalist.
Right, man. I got serious interviews coming up, man.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
I think you need to add a scarf.
Ooh, a scarf. Yeah. Yeah. Especially here in it's cold 85-degree November weather.
Yes. Very frigid.
All right, everybody. We are here with Bull Diego from Bull y Los Bufalos, all the way from Astoria, Spain. Yeah?
Asturias, Spain.
I should know, for God's sake, right? You would think.
Yeah. I'm telling you all the time that I'm from Asturias.
Asturias. See, I feel so fuck it up, but yeah, close enough. We'll edit it. Yeah, man. We've had some cool conversations. You were in Spain, and then you went to Mexico, and then came here. And how long have you been in Austin now?
When I came here in 2014, like means 6 years, but I was living 1 year and a half in LA. So basically, 5 years living in Texas, in Austin.
That's right. I forget you went out to LA for a little stint there, and you played out the Whiskey. You kind of had a band. I guess you got some musicians kind of all over that you can call upon, right? You got guys still down in Mexico, even Texas, LA.
And in Spain, I think I have a chapter in every country. The Spaniard band, the Mexican band, and then American band. I have the LA guys and the Texas guy. But don't say anyone, but the Texas is my favorite.
Cool. We'll edit that part out. I love everything, Bull. So every chapter is my. It sounds like you sound like a badass when you can say you have like chapters, right? The Buffaloes have chapters. Spain, Mexico, LA chapter.
I was hanging out too long with bikers, so now I call them chapters.
That makes sense where that comes from. I always think of Black Label Society, right? And Zach Wilde's LA chapter.
But in the old days, the 50s guys, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, all those guys, when they were traveling, they used to hire the band in the cities that they go. So they have a band there and playing with them. And that's what, obviously, it's better when you're playing all the time with the same band. You have to create some chemistry and magic. But it's good to have different chapters in other places too.
You have your roster that you're familiar with, and you got a chemistry with the musicians you played with them before. That's always nice and definitely comfortable for you as the front man to know that your backing band is someone you know and have played with. But that works, I think. We've talked about that, and whether it be with the sort of the traveling Broadway type shows, musical productions, or bands. And like, in fact, we were talking about Chuck Berry recently on the last podcast, or wait, whatever the fuck podcast, and I don't know what it was. I'm stupid, but I think he would just show up, and it's like the band's like, you need to know every one of my fucking tunes in every key, and I walk out on stage and just tell you what to play, and you do it. And that's how Bull is. He's really just very mean, and he just yells at the band. Like, Johnny, be good. Right? Actually, he has done that. Johnny, be good. Go.
No, I don't mean. You know, I'm a nice guy.
I could be mean.
I could be mean, but I'm trying to be nice.
Excuse me. Bull, I got to tell the how we met story now, actually, that we speak of it, because the first time I met you was definitely, it was very, I got a very different impression from what I know you now, but you're drunk as hell, so,
Oh, yeah, I remember. Well, I don't remember, in fact.
You don't remember. You don't remember at all, but I mean, I would hate to see you mean, because you're what, 6'8"? How big are you?
6'6", yeah. But the funniest thing, like 1 week before, someone that I thought, I went to introduce myself and said, I met you in a party. You were drunk as hell. Holy, everybody remember that party. But it was 5 years ago. And I never was as drunk since I came to the United States. That night was the top one. And everybody remembers, except me.
Yeah, no, it was pretty classic because I had heard your name. I had heard about you. And I don't think I had met you or run into you until that party, which was out at Mesa Recording Studios. And and you were just really, really Can I tell the story?
Yeah, of course, man, of course.
And it's really funny. And I mean, everybody knows that you love hipsters, right? You love the Austin hipster crowd, right?
No, I don't like hipster or hippies.
So this is where this is the launching point for the story. So Bull comes out and I'm like talking with some friends and everything, and he just walks up and he's just some guy and he's like, he was saying, I don't know what you were saying, but you were like, basically just says to this dude, "You look like little hipster man." I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
But someone told me that I was hitting on his girlfriend before, so the guy became to be pissed off with me, obviously, and then I told him that I promise the people that are listening to this, I'm a nice guy and I respect everybody. I was very, very intoxicated, so I'm sorry, but everybody told me about that story that I called him hipster, and I don't know even who he is, but well.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, oh, who the fuck? But what was funny is because then I was like, well, I knew who you were. So then I was like, a little later in the night, I was like, hey, yeah, I've heard about you through Rob or something. I went to shake your hand, and you were just like, I don't even think you knew anyone was there. You were just like beelining for another drink or, go puke in the pool or something. But no, that was, and then so there was that, and then we became acclimated. I guess maybe a couple of years later, right? I kind of forget. Was it because I played on Road Less Track, but
yeah, I was recording 2017 the album Animal, and you record Road Less Travel, the main song in the album. So and then we start to becomes to be friends and partners.
And you've had a few different rosters of musicians. So that album, was there anyone from the current band that recorded on that album? Was Kostamos on that one?
No, Jonas. Well, Jonas couldn't record the album because he was touring with another band, and I don't remember what he's doing. So Tony Valdez, that he used to be the right. Tony did he recorded the bass, except in Road Less Travel that Jonas did it. So and Tony and Jonas, they're still in the band. Yeah,
that's
main Jonas is the official bass player, and Tony, when Jonas can't do it, Tony always there, and both they do a great job.
I think Rob had said that, or we talked about it. I had forgotten that Tony tracked most of that album. It's kind of funny how Jonas and I tracked on the Road Less Traveled and then ended up being in your band.
Yeah.
You had Tony on there, and then Will Knack did the guitars on that whole record.
Yeah, he did an amazing job. He's a great guitar player. So he was, and he recorded I think I did all the remix guitars, and he did all the leads and the slide guitar and a kind of remix too in just one day.
Yeah, monster player, man, great player.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah. So that was Animal in 2017, and then you had done a couple of albums in Spain before that. So take us back. When was the first Buffalo's album? Tell us about those prior albums.
Was the first album came out in 2009, but we recorded like 2 years before as a demo because I was trying to put. In those days, was almost impossible to put an album out if you are not in a record label. So I get a good contact with a heavy metal record label in Spain. So they said record a demo and send it to me. So we record the demo, and finally nothing happened with them. So I kept the songs, and 2 years later, I recorded the rest of the album and we put it out in 2009. And I remember this. We will talk about that. Caffeine in Rock and Roll was the first track in the album. That is one of my favorite songs. And I get hooked with a record label, independent record label. So they didn't want to put out that song. They told me it's too rock. We are a fucking rock and roll band. What are you expecting? Yeah, it's the most rock song in the album. So he kept insisting, and he want to launch a pop rock single, and they did it. So finally I broke with them because I didn't like that. And the song the pop rock song never hit anything. However, Caffeine Rock and Roll, we did pretty well with that song. This is still one of the best song. I don't want to say the best song, but it gave me more credit than other songs.
I mean, it's catchy. It's kind of one of your signature tunes. It's a staple of every show. The crowd sings along. I think you close a lot of shows with it. And is that one of the tunes now that's in the TV show, The Mayans?
Yeah. It was in. And I remember when the Mayans called me, and I said, about this song. I say they put that song in the first episode of the second season. And it was a kind of relief for me because I was fighting with that song during 10 years because I knew that song was good. I knew that song had something. And I felt very bad that the record label didn't use it in the very first time. So when they called me and they say, we're going to use this one, I was very happy, very, very happy. Do you know that feeling that I was right?
Yeah, justification that you knew that in your gut all along, and they didn't listen to your intuition. And sure enough, obviously it was correct. That song is definitely, I mean, clearly now it's in a national, television show here.
Both national and international, because it's in 28 countries. Yeah.
Is that show in? Is that even all in English, or do they speak Spanish in that some too? What's the deal with that?
Yes, bilingual. It means it's an English TV show, but since Mayans is the spin-off of Sons of Anarchy. So the Mayans, they are a Mexican American biker motorcycle club. So they speak English most of the time, but sometimes they speak in Spanish during the show. So since we do the same in Bull y Los Bufalos, we sing songs in English and Spanish, and we do a lot of rock and a lot of biker style. I think that was one of the reasons that the Mayans picked songs.
I learned a Spanish word from being in your band is E.
E. And...
Victor, Road Less Traveled, and I was just like singing it wrong because I didn't know what you were saying, and then
no, I don't remember what song it was, but Victor told me that he met you in a Spanish classroom. I didn't know that, so this can always make fun about my accent. So I need to hear him talking in English.
I think whenever you guys play again, just talk to Skunk in Spanish. He's very fluent. Solamente en español.
Well, I have a very thick accent, but it's not because I'm from Spain. It's because I learned English in Texas, you all. So.
Well, see, now I just want you to impersonate hipsters.
I was very impressed because when I left Spain, my idea was living in Los Angeles, in LA. And then I went there. I left. I was born and raised in Madrid. In Asturias, but I moved to Madrid. I was living 11 years in Madrid, and then I moved to Los Angeles with only the tourist visa that only allows you to stay 3 months. So I was doing networking, searching, enjoying the country, and then I had to leave because my visa was about to expire. But I didn't want to come back home, so I went to Mexico. For another 3 years. So I was living in Mexico 3 years. And then when I came back to the United States and I get the artist visa, that is the visa that I have, the music, when I'm doing music, I went to Austin. And so I didn't know too much about Austin. And then, it's Texas. I thought I'm going to find like super tough cowboy guys, rock and rollers, Southern rock. And then, don't get me wrong, I love the city and I love the vibe, but man, I saw thousands of hipsters, like more than Madrid. It is what's going on? But, but well, it is a pretty cool city. I love it. For that reason, I'm still living here, even with the hipsters.
So do you still go out to LA sometimes? When's the last time you were out there? I mean, I guess January and playing with Gibson. So, I mean, let's talk about that. Some cool things that have happened recently, obviously having some songs in the Mayans TV show. How many songs have been played in that show now? 3?
3. 2 in the first episode and 1 in the last episode, which is the most important episodes.
And
there are 3.
Is there another season? Is that season 3 coming out already, or?
Yeah, the thing is because the COVID, they stopped the production, they stopped filming. Well, they never started to film. It's till 1 month ago. They call me, they text me, they send me an email. They say we are going to film again. 3rd season is happening for 2021. And we're probably going to use one of your tracks again. So I was very excited and very happy. And well, I hope it's not 100% sure, but I hope they're going to use them again. For different songs, obviously, but we'll see. Yeah, it is happening. Now they are filming the 3rd season, and it is happening for 2021.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the album Animal that came out in 2017. And then since then, there's been a couple of singles. Were either of those in the Mayans? There was Hasta Muerte and Preacher.
Till Death Do Us Part. Till Death Do Us Part, and the Preacher Will Have to Lie. The Skunk Manhattan did the guitars. Those, I was very sure that they're going to use it. They didn't use it yet. But I think those songs fit perfectly in the show.
That one reason that you wanted to get in the studio and do those songs was because of you kind of thinking along those lines, right, and writing that.
Yes, when I start negotiating with them, and they told me that you have a very unique style that singing English and Spanish in the same song. And with that biker rock and roll vibe, it is difficult to find all together. So do you have anything besides the songs that you send me? Do you have more? They will no, but I can. So I was very inspired about the show. And then I started writing those songs. The Preacher Will Have to Lie, Till Death Do Us Part. And we recorded it. And we sent it to them. Oh, well, the thing that happened with those 2 songs, when we sent them to them, the show was already done. For that reason, they didn't hit the show. They used a couple of songs for my second album, but maybe for this album, they're gonna pick it.
Yeah, and then there was a video shoot for Till Death Do Us Part, which was personally something I enjoyed, even though it was standing around for hours and hours. There were lots of snacks, so I did like that part.
A lot of cheese.
A lot of cheese. And it shows.
Was that pretty recent? I think you were doing a shoot. Was that the video?
No, that was the song. We just did a video for
right.
2019 was that January 2019. So there's a pretty cool story about that the video, because the song Till Death Do Us Part it's a Western rock ballad. Talks about a bride that was killed during the wedding. So the cowboy came back every year in the Day of the Dead to meet with her. So all that's the song about it. So I wanted a Catholic church to shoot the video. It was very difficult to find. Not someone I went to San Antonio to the Spanish missions. So they asked me for a lot of money, and it was a crazy story talking with the preachers there and everything. So I think it was in Christmas, or I don't remember. I was in a party. So in the party, there was a preacher. They said, I have a church. Oh, you have a church? They said, yes, well, I need a church. I said, well, come back on Sunday, and if you like the church, maybe you can use it. So I went there, and I loved the church. And these people were extremely nice with us, so they didn't charge me. They say, we support art, we support artists, we support music. You are free to use the church.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. And that money was able to go to snacks, which was great.
Yeah. But we eat a lot of it. Victor, these guys, I was trying to be nice, and I brought a badass catering, but I bought a lot of cheese. I'm from Spain, man. We eat a lot of cheese. And so these guys, they were complaining. What the hell?
Hey, I definitely was not complaining. I was like, this is badass. I mean, granted,
no, not complaining. Making jokes.
Shoot, we're like, okay, we're filming at 8 p.m. and then we film at 2 a.m. But there was a lot of dude. I'm pretty easy, man. There was a lot of cheese and cured meats and chips and.
Well, the thing is, we want to create. I think you probably remember how say that in English? Atmosphere, yeah. With candles. The lighting was candles, so I had to buy 500 candles. So we need to set it up, all those 500 candles and light it.
Production. I mean, I understand. I actually fast forwarding to, and that video turned out great. I mean, it's awesome. But fast forwarding to the one Victor just mentioned, the new single, which is going to be coming out on is it the 25th, right? Tell us about that song.
Well, the song is called Alone with the King, that is talking about Elvis Presley. So during the lockdown, just after the lockdown, I was camping in Georgetown in the lake. So when I left the camping, I turned on my truck and I was about to go home. And I said, well, let's go to Memphis. Literally, it was like that. I didn't plan it at all. So I checked it out on the website that Graceland just reopened it. So I drove there like, 600 miles, 700 miles from Austin to Memphis. And I was very excited. I'm a huge fan of Elvis Presley, like huge. All my life, I wanted to visit Memphis and Graceland. So I went there very early on a Wednesday after the lockdown. So nobody was there, absolutely nobody. I thought it was closed. So I was talking, but the people was there with the ticket. They say, is this open? Oh, yeah. So I thought I had to wait like 1 hour or two to waiting for people. But suddenly there were two girls at the entrance of Graceland. Say, are you coming or not? I said, well, just me? Yeah, of course, by myself. Yeah. So then they opened the Graceland doors. And I was like, all right, this is happening. And they closed the doors and I was there, just myself in fucking Graceland. So I was very excited. I took a lot of pictures that I was shaking, and I took my time. I was like almost 1 hour. Every room, in the kitchen, and everywhere, taking pictures, videos. And it was a very special moment for me. And definitely a couple of things happened when I went to... And I was so excited that I forget the grave. But if you were in Graceland, you have at the end, when you are leaving, in the meditation garden, they call it like that, because it's the place that Elvis is buried. They have the grave. And suddenly I saw the grave, and it was a very, very special moment. I did my talking and everything. I gave him a present, a bracelet that I have, that I used for the live album. And it was the same bracelet that Elvis was using in special Comeback 68, the concert. Well, there was a lot of crazy things there. And I was literally one day with a headache because it was too much for me. And I say, I need to write about this. I really need to write about this. And I talked to myself, damn, I was alone with the king. That's the title of the song. And then I came back to Austin and I started writing the song. And then Skunk Manhattan showed up with the badass riffs and everything. So we put Jonas with the bass and Kostamos with the drums. Rob Hinton did all the production, and it turned out a pretty cool song.
I love it, man. I think it's a really cool song, and it was sort of like I kind of joke around with my fiance about it. It's just like one minute it's just like, oh, we hadn't talked in a while, and you know, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're doing a new song. It needs to be ready Tuesday. Like I went out. I forget what I was even out there for. I was out at Mesa for something, and you know, he was like, yeah, Bull was out here, and we scratched the new tune. I was like, oh yeah, let me hear it, and then like from that moment on, it was just like, and recorded the next week, and boom, 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 you know, and then the video, which back to the video thing, that was probably the smoothest video shoot I've ever seen, man. It was like smooth sailing, get in, get out, had a blast, looked great. I can't wait to see the video, man. It was a lot of fun doing it.
I love it. Well, the thing is, Kara Bliss McGregor, she's a singer, she's an actress, and she's great. She's super good. I was in her home, and I was looking for an Elvis impersonator for the video. And I say, do you know Elvis impersonator? Well, yes, but my ex-husband. All right, everything's gonna be. So why you need an Elvis? They said, well, I'm writing this song, blah blah. So suddenly she told me, well, there is a fantastic theater from the 50s. Well, the theater is from the 30s, but it was remodeled on the 50s here in Lockhart, Texas, and I think you will love it, and maybe I can get it. So, well, man, I went to the theater 2 days later, and I said, well, this is the place, because the place is unbelievable. They have the lighting, they have all the 50s curtains, all the vintage vibe, everything. So I love it. And I asked her to be the director or the art director, so that way I can be more relaxed in doing the performing and everything. And it was very easy recording. You were there. It was very easy recording, very fast, very smooth. We had a lot of fun, and it turned out pretty well too.
Yeah, it was awesome. Because I mean, most of the time it's just like, you're like, okay, cool. So 9 a.m. We want to shoot by 10, blah de blah, and I'm like, okay, so we'll probably shoot by 2 o'clock, maybe be done by 4. And I was just like, okay, I have something at like 4 or 5. I was like, and I was expecting to be like, okay, I'll expect to be at Lockhart till 3. No, we were done by like 11 or noon at the latest.
Yeah. We finished like, I think it's the very first music video that I recorded before of the Spectre, like, because we only had the theater till 5. So I think we finished at 3. Like the whole band, means Elvis and everyone, we finished at 3. Now it's obviously post-production, edition, color correction, all the effects and everything it's taken time, but I think it's worth it. And sometimes the thing with this song obviously is an Elvis tribute, but I wanted to end the year rocking out. It was a very tough year for everybody, but especially for musicians. So I had more songs, ballads and rock and roll, but I really want to finish the year kicking ass and rocking out. And we're still here, we're still rocking, we're still together. And I think it was a pretty cool story, go to Memphis, and Elvis deserved it. So it is happening. It is happening.
It's kind of an amazing story behind that whole song. The way you went there on a whim. There was nobody there. You get to spend this time at Graceland all by yourself. It's this lifelong dream. You end up writing a song, come back, and it all kind of falls into place. Like, oh, well, I know Elvis theater, and I know there's a theater right here, and everything just falls into place, you know.
And when obviously you guys did a great job, because it was like that. I just record, and we were talking about that. I came back to the camping to write that song and more songs. So I was writing songs with it wasn't even a camping, I was camping in a lake. So I wrote the song with no electricity, no pouring water, like just with acoustic guitar and raccoons and tarantulas. And that was I'm writing a song called Raccoon Boogie. So I record a scratch with the guitars, and I send it to the guys. I say, guys, I know this is a shitty demo, but I know what I want, and I know you are the guys. I know you're going to nail it. And they did it. Skunk came back with a lot of cool rhythm guitars and solos, and same with Jonas and with Kostamos, and we put it together with Rob Hinton. And it was kind of fast, and sometimes natural and fresh is the idea. The song is a old school rock and roll, but it has a lot of different things that make it more interesting.
Yeah, that's what I think I really love about this song is it's not that long of a song, but it's a lot of times when I'm learning songs and teaching different songs, it's like you come across pop songs and old classic rock songs and stuff, and you're like, on the surface, you're like, oh yeah, verse, chorus, and then you listen and you're like, wait, oh, there was that. It's all these neat little things that happen in a 3-minute time, and this is one of those songs where it's like there's a lot of little cool things happening. And one thing I think an idea you had that I love about this is there's a little moment for everybody. Like there's a guitar solo, there's a little bass moment, there's a drum moment, and every time like something comes around, like it may be just a little bit different. So it stays really, really interesting, even though it's a simple song.
That was the idea, to put in 3 minutes and 30 seconds bass part, drums part, guitar solos, and when the boys came, it is basically just the vocals and the kick and the bass, because I want to create that loneliness that I was there just by myself, that empty thing that me and Elvis. So I hope the people will catch that idea. Instead of just singing on the main riff.
Yeah. So the video comes out and the track will be released on the 25th, right? All the same day.
Yeah, 25th at 3 p.m. It's going to be on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, the single and the video at the same time. So, well,
anyone wants to find you, bullylosbufalos.com. That'll have links out everywhere. You're pretty active on Spotify. I know you're we were talking to someone else about this, Victor. Oh, I think it was Mark Sean from Blackheart Saints was saying he liked TuneCore, and I brought you up because you've done some deals. Wasn't TuneCore a sponsor for the live show event at Come and Take It Live?
Yes. The good thing about TuneCore, I think one of the main things that I still releasing singles and albums with TuneCore is because we have an office here in Austin, Texas, with Emmy Lombardi. She's the girl in charge, and she's great. And when you are talking with her, you are not a number, you are a band. She knows Bull y Los Bufalos, she knows the bands. So when I only have to pick the phone or send her an email, and every issues or any problem or any questions, she always, and that is gold. It's literally gold, because you can be in another companies that are good too, but you are just a number. They don't know you. They don't know you personally. So that thing that we have TuneCore here in Austin and with Amy, I think is great. And in fact, when we recorded the live album last year, they were sponsoring they were part of sponsoring the show, the concert.
Yeah, so many things come down to personal relations, man, and just having personal relationships, whether it's a rep at a company, someone like that, like you said, that you can actually talk to, and you're not just another number, and something answered through an email, Q&A kind of thing. So tell us about some other companies you work with. I was going to wear my Gibson shirt, but I think it's dirty. But look what I got back here, Bull. The coveted Les Paul that never leaves the house.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, is that the studio that's been
the one, man? Like, Bull, have you seen
that's
this?
Beautiful.
I remember that.
I never saw that guitar, man.
Yeah, Bull's just like, it can't leave the house. It's fallen over, broken the headstock, and it's been run over by a van. Like this whole guitar was like cracked all the way down here, and the whole part was hanging out. The headstock was like cracked off, and so it's had so much surgery, like where this entire part was like glued back together. It was.
But is it still functional? Is it still functional?
Guitar, huh?
Yeah, but it's still functional. You played it, right?
Yeah, it's still, and that's the thing. It's been fixed. It'll still play, man. So, and I love this guitar. I don't know if you can probably can't see, but like, yeah, the whole back of the headstock has just been glued back on. It's all cracked and stuff, but it works and it plays. And I mean, there's a guy. I had someone asked me the other day about a guitar repair guy, and I think he actually works over at South Austin Music part time doing repairs and stuff too. It's this guy out in Wimberley, and now his name is Tony or Toby. I'm so bad with names, but man, he's the guy to go to. If your fucking guitar breaks, hit me up and I'll refer you to the guy, because he saved my guitar after being run over by a van, for God's sake.
Yes, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. Yeah.
But anyway, back to
yes, I'm working with Gibson Guitars. I'm sponsored by them in the Epic line. Means that I'm working with some guitars. That anyway, all my relationship is with them, with Gibson. But I play Epiphone. But it came natural because I've been playing Epiphone for many years. I play another brands too, but I was playing Epiphone for many years. So one of the first meetings that I did when I came to Austin in 2014 or 2015, I think, I went to the Austin Gibson showroom to talk with them. Say, hey guys, I am the Bull. Who? Yeah, I'm from Spain, and I play Epiphone and I play Gibson, and I'm looking for a sponsorship. Oh yeah. So you need to prove that you're worth it. I understand. TV, festival shows, social media, and then the Mayans and all that kind of things, Whiskey Go, and then they start sponsoring. With Eileen Cret in San Antonio, she was helping me with the deal with them. And honestly, every time that I need anything, I only have to call them, and next day I have guitars, bass, amps, whatever I need. And we played in the NAMM show this year, in 2020, in the Gibson stage. It was one of the best Gibson stage in NAMM ever. And it was, Skunk was there, it was unbelievable.
It was an absolutely amazing experience. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. And they treat us like a real rock and roll star. We are no real rock and roll star.
I finally know what it's like. Oh, wait, you mean I just walk out from this backstage area and grab a Les Paul of my choosing and start playing? Great. Sounds amazing.
But did they have an assortment of cheese there for you?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I should have been a total rock star and been like, look, this 5-star cuisine buffet and free coffee is just not. This is bullshit. There's no cheese here. I'm out. Actually,
and the funniest thing,
after party,
we played
Grove was insane.
No, everything was insane. Like the 4 days, we were treated like Billy Gibbons, Slash. I don't know. Was so many famous rock and rollers there hanging out with us, or everybody was hanging out together and treated in the.
No.
And treated. Sorry.
Talk.
I talk a lot. You are lucky that I'm not talking. You are lucky that I'm talking in Spanish. In the Spanish, I even talk more.
I'm going to change hats. Keep talking.
All right. So the thing is, we play kind of early, like noon, and we put a lot of energy in the show. We start with Hammer of Nail. So my contact in LA from Gibson, his name is McLovia. He said, when we finished the gig, a lot of people came to congratulate us. And then a tall guy, came to talk with me. Oh, that was very, very cool. A lot of energy. We didn't expect that so early, but so okay. And then I asked McLovia, who's this guy? This is the president of Gibson. Oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
Pretty badass guy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And then
just sitting there like hanging out and shooting the shit with everybody, you know? I was started to say about, man, I mean, it was just the whole concert and everything they did was amazing, but fucking seeing Don Felder with Slash, and I don't even remember who else was on stage, all playing Hotel California, was absolutely incredible.
Oh, man.
And Billy Gibbons, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, it was
played.
It was unbelievable. It was a fantastic party. We have a private table for us, and a lot of cheese, a lot of drinks, and during 4 days. And it was a pretty good experience. And I'm glad that Gibson brought back the rock and roll scene, and the old school rock and rollers. And they are supporting new bands too, not only big monsters, Slash and Billy Gibbons and from Fender.
Cool to see is that they've got guys like Jerry Cantrell coming on board. They've got Adam Jones from Tool was there. They had Snake Sabo from Skid Row had a new signature guitar. They got a lot of these guys, these big, rock guys. But then a lot of, I love the thing they had with the kids playing. They had these younger artists there, and they had several artists, obviously yourself, Bull and the Bufalos, and then they had Jackie Venison and Emily Wolf. And so, it was a really nice mix of musicians.
Yeah. They're in from San Antonio. It's a cool band. I love that band.
Who?
Probably my accent is the heroine. No heroin drug. The hero, a female hero. How say that in English?
Oh, yeah. It sounds almost exactly the same. Heroin. Yeah.
Heroin. Yeah. This is a San Antonio punk rock band. They're pretty good.
They've been around for a while, right? They're pretty known. Yeah. I didn't realize they were with Gibson too. They were at the NAMM show.
They were playing the last day on Sunday.
I'm never doing this podcast in this hat again. I just did this for you, Bull.
I love that hat. I love the cowboy style. I love I'm pretty in love with Texas culture.
And this hat's just been sitting around, and then when I started playing with Bull, it was just like, I think this hat has found a place. Bull was like, yes.
Yes. The funniest thing, since I was a kid, when I was 15 years old, I bought my first cowboy boots. Since I was 15, I only wear cowboy boots. And Stan can confirm you that. So I was wearing cowboy boots all my life. So it was kind of weird in Spain. That what the fuck are you doing with that? The Clint Eastwood? But here it's so cool, and I can wear all that things and ponchos and cowboy hats, and I'm so happy that to be a Clint Eastwood movie. I love the Texas culture. Yeah, that's normal, and I love it.
Dude, and thanks. You've given me some great hand-me-downs, by the way.
The what?
You were like, hey, here's a jacket. You want it? I'm like, sure. I'll just take anything.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, hey, here's a vest. Doesn't fit me. You want it? Sure. I've actually used that stuff. I have my jacket for
good.
My rap guy, and I just wore that vest in a photo shoot, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Because I can't give those clothes to the hipsters. I need to give them to the rock and rollers. and big guys like you, and people that appreciate that.
I can be able to fit those clothes. I put on all this COVID weight, so I can kind of sort of like make Bull's clothes work now. Actually, man, speaking like the camping and stuff, you were getting in pretty good shape, right? You dropped some weight over this whole experience, correct?
Yes. Yeah, the thing, when I was camping this summer, I bought a canoe.
Man, I hope he didn't run into John.
So I went to the lake, right in the what?
Well, we had another guest who had a blowout, who had a blowout on Town Lake, and the UT rowing team witnessed it.
Oh, yeah.
No, mine was very, very simple. I was just paddling.
But yet no traumatic eyewitness accounts. Okay, good. But so yeah, you're doing that like every day, right?
Yes, man. It was a fantastic summer because we didn't have gigs with all this COVID and all these things. And I love when I was living in Spain, I had a 4x4 off-roading expedition company. So I was doing a lot of off-roading and Sahara Desert, North of Africa, Portugal, Spain, south of France, mountains. So I was doing like camping like primitive camping all my life. So I really missed that. So I went there and I bought that canoe and I went every single day with the canoe to the lake and I lost 30 pounds.
What lake was
Lake
it?
Georgetown.
Oh, okay.
Lake Georgetown. At the north.
Yeah. Were you, you were in Pflugerville for a while and then that's pretty north, man. How far is that from where you're at now out at Mesa? About 45 minutes?
Yeah, like Pflugerville is like, I live 40 minutes from Austin, yeah. I was in everywhere. I was living 3 years in South Austin, between South Congress and South First, very close to Seaboys. One of my favorite places in Austin. I was living in Leander. I was living in Pflugerville. Then I went to LA, and I was living 1 year and a couple of months there too. So yeah, moving.
Rocking and rolling, man.
Yeah, and I think, well, I was moving so many times in my life from my small town in Asturias to the capital of Asturias, then to Madrid, then to LA, Mexico, Austin, LA again, then come back to Austin. And I always feel that I would like to live in more places. I would like to live in Nashville. I would like to live in Alaska.
I hear that,
I'm
man.
totally serious.
Dude, I think it'd be awesome to go to Alaska for a stint. Yeah, I agree. I mean, some people I think are just wired that way, where they like to travel, they like to experience different places and go different, do different things. And clearly, you're one of those people. I was really looking forward to, if COVID hadn't happened, obviously we were talking about would have gone to the summer NAMM, I imagine, and there was talk about doing Sturgis, right? Originally doing that. Have you done that before or no?
No, but we did Bull y Los Bufalos. We did a lot of biker shows in Spain and Mexico, especially in Mexico, and here in Texas, a lot of them too. The T-shirt that you were wearing. Okay, can you hear me now better? Oh yeah.
Just a Zoom freeze. Yeah, this was the show that we played in. That wasn't League City. Where was it? Near Houston.
Freeport.
Yeah, and that was actually. That was in September. I guess that we played that, and the show after that might have been the live show, which was a year. Dude, I think that was a year ago today. It was the live show at Come and Take It, right?
It was on the 27th or 21 or 21st. I think 21st. November 21st, we record the live album here in Austin.
Okay, so Vic will put this out tomorrow so that it lines up with what you just said.
Yep.
After he edits the Zoom fuck ups.
Okay. And we put it out on January 2020, but we recorded on November 2019. Yeah. Yeah, we were pretty busy in 2019. I think it was one of the best years ever. Yeah, we did a lot of things.
San Antonio shows. It might have been the first.
Well, 2019, we record Till Death Do Us Part, The Preacher, the video clip. I Get Hooked with Gibson. We record the live album. We won that award for the best Spanish rock and roll band.
For that, yeah.
That was a kind of... I remember the story, Victor. We won the award of the best Spanish rock band in Texas by the MXD magazine. So they have like a awards premiere in Dallas. So we went there to play it. It was a kind of sport bar. They have all the equipment and everything. So then the guy said, "Hey, don't play too loud." What? We just won the award, the best rock band, and you tell me you don't play too loud? So no, well, okay, but you always say okay, but you still play in anyway. So we went to the stage, and then it was a Skunk Manhattan solo. So Skunk, he stopped playing the solo, and I was looking at him, and suddenly his guitar disappeared. He wasn't playing it. What happening? So there was a guy turning down the volume of the amp at the same time that he was doing the solo. And what is happening here? And then he turned down my guitar too, but I'm totally, no, just a little bit. So it was a very weird show. And then, well, we won the award. They gave us the award. I was talking with the guy. What the fuck was that, man? He was playing the solo, and no, we have a problem with the neighbors. And he was I love that guy. I love the magazine, NX, the magazine. It was a funny and that guy, he does a lot of things for the Texas music. He apologized as it wasn't his fault. He told me that he couldn't do it in the sport bar that he used to do. They have some problems with the neighbors. So. But it was a funny thing that like, what happened?
It just like, I think, the idea was good, and it was just unfortunately it was a long event, you know what I mean? And they had, I think it was adjacent to like an ice cream shop. And I think they were just like families and shit, like, what the hell's going on over there? And so they were freaking out. And I think the sound guy just had no idea how to handle it, and was just the pressure of it. And so it's like, dude, you don't in the middle of a fucking song do that though. Like, figured like, and we started playing, and so like it starts out, I think it was like Hammer and Nail, right? And it was kind of cool. And we like kick in, and we like, and all of a sudden it's just like we're all like looking at each other like, wait, what happened to you? Like we're in, like everything just disappears. It was just really
wow.
Really bizarre.
And then you turn around, it's like a dude fucking with your amp. Like, what?
We had a lot of fun. Yeah, but we were super grateful, and we are super grateful about.
It was a fun night. I mean, and I believe they had cheese.
Yeah, they gave us cheese.
I think I ordered
another thing that I forget to mention, and I have to, and I want to. It is Lethal Threat Designs. It is this T-shirt that I'm wearing. I'm the ambassador of this brand. There is a biker, hot rod, and rock and roll brand from New York. So I'm hooked with them. And they treat us very well too. And in fact, in the live album, we had a huge banner behind of us with a buffalo's head, and Lethal Threat made it for us. And they gave me a lot of clothes, and they have a rock and roll blog. They did an article about us. So 2019 was a pretty amazing, fantastic year with all these people supporting us and all the crazy things that we did in 2019. The Mayans, the Gibson, live album, video singles. Pretty good thing. Is this okay? Can you hear me well?
Well, what's weird to me is I feel like you're talking, and then you'll freeze for a second, but then as soon as I start to talk, you come back. I'm almost go. It's like freezing, right, Victor? Like just little mini freezes.
It may be Rob's Wi-Fi. Maybe Rob is streaming some pretty large.
Rob streaming some naughty movies.
Rob's streaming some naughty movies.
So you could also just be blowing up a toilet.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he could be on his phone on the toilet, just kind of like scrolling, streaming stuff.
Yeah. Well.
Oh man!
If he's angry with something, for sure we will hear it.
Oh man, Rob, dude. Well, the funny thing about Rob is you'll be tracking, or and we'll take a break, and he'll be like, "I'm gonna run to the bathroom for a bit." Like 2.5 hours later,
he comes sweating there. Oh man!
It's like a John Simpson story. It's always the same thing. Oh, I shouldn't have had that second pizza.
He's coming sweating like, oh man, it's too much information, man. Let's keep tracking.
Oh man, Rob's. I mean, there's an elite few. We've had a couple on the podcast already, and Rob is definitely in that club. And I don't think he's ashamed of it either. About just big guys that break toilets. Don't mind talking about it, but it's pretty goddamn funny. So
it is normal. This is normal.
I guess. I mean, when you were out camping, Bull, were you just tearing it up in the woods?
Wait. No, there was there was a very primitive camping, but they
right in the river.
Also, not even one raccoon
Georgetown water supply polluted.
alive. They had bathrooms. They had bathrooms at the beginning of the forest. They have bathrooms.
God damn it, Rob! Get off your Wi-Fi.
And I used it. But it's a funny story about what I was camping. Yeah, it's okay now.
It's not you.
Okay?
I mean, I think it's Wi-Fi.
Well, the thing is, when I was camping, that I have a lot of crazy stories this summer, and there were only 28 campsites. So I like the last ones because I want to be just myself, and raccoons and snakes and all that kind of thing. So mostly of the time I was just by myself in the middle of the forest. But it was a weekend that two guys came there and they camped just in front of me in the next campground. So there was one of them. He was just fresh out of jail. He was that day. I'm fresh out of jail. So all right, nice to meet you. So and the other guy, the guy that was fresh out of jail was about 60 something, very mellow guy, and another guy with a huge truck with a huge wheels. This guy was a little more hyper. I said, hey man, it was super Texas accent. Do you want a moonshine? Well, yes. Do you want a bourbon? Moonshine or bourbon? Mix it up. So I was like, so I took a couple of whiskeys with them, and then I keep playing guitar. I'm sorry, guys. I would like to join you in this party, but I'm writing songs, whatever. So I was playing the guitar. So the party, they started partying like hours and hours and hours, drinking moonshine and whiskey, and they become to be very, very drunk. So they want to burn some wood, but we were out of wood. So the hyper guy took his truck and put it into the forest and started trying to pull off trees. And they said, let's pull off that tree with the wheel like that. And I was like playing guitar like a fucking movie. So finally they did it. They pulled off a tree and they put gasoline and they burned it like holy. I was like an action movie. And I was like an action movie. And there is a song for a country guy that I don't remember. That I don't remember the name of the guy, but they played that song like 100 times. It's a song that I like smoking pot a lot.
I hope these guys haven't been out to California, because if so, I think they're the state's on fire.
I was impressed. Like, these guys know how to party. Pulling trees off and burning with gasoline and moonshine, and right, that's my kind of people.
That's why you came to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds more like sounds like more like the Wallen crowd to me.
Yeah.
That's the map.
That's crazy story. How is my accent going? You understand everything I say, or just a little bit?
Man, pretty good. It's funny, like, sometimes like we'll talk on the phone and I'm going like, what? But like, I think something about seeing face to face. I mean, I can understand you 99% of the time, so I haven't had any problems.
Yeah, no problem at all.
I mean, I'm not Baracho right now though, so.
Crazy times.
So, Alone with the King comes out everywhere on the 25th of this month, and then what's after that for Bull y Los Bufalos?
I'm writing new songs, and I hope you join me for keep writing, and we can write some tunes together. And I would like to record an EP, kind of beginning of 2021, February, something like that. And I don't want to release it. Just want to keep it and check it out, what's going on with the Kobai, what's going on with the world, and look for the right way to put it out and with the right people. Maybe I'm going to Nashville, do a couple of meetings. I used to go to LA, but I think right now there are more things. I'm pretty sure there are more things happening in Nashville versus LA.
Yeah, Nashville definitely doesn't seem like it slowed down.
That seems to be one of the places that a lot of people are going to. Like coming from California, I think people are either coming to Texas, surrounding area too, but like Nashville's another one I've heard a lot too.
Yes, a lot of people are moving to, well, definitely most of the California are moving to Texas. But musicians in LA or producers, engineers and managers, they are moving to Nashville. And in fact, Gibson headquarters used to be in LA and now it's in Nashville. So, well, Nashville always was a country city, but mostly the good studios, production, record labels, managers, things that we're missing big time here in Austin.
Yeah, the music business has never slowed down there. It is just alive and well, big time, seemingly almost maybe more than anywhere. Hey, when you were in Memphis, did you by any chance, I might have asked you this, did you go to the Gibson factory there? Or is there still, I mean, I guess there's still a Gibson factory there, right?
It's closed.
Really?
I was there because I went to Beale Street, and it's at the end of Beale Street, the Gibson factory, but it's not there anymore. They still have a banner and everything. They are doing everything in Nashville, I think now.
Okay. I went there it might have been about 2009 or 10 maybe when I was in Memphis. And I didn't go to Graceland, but I went to the Rock and Roll and what is it? Museum of Rock and Roll and Soul or something like that. Beale Street, obviously. Factory.
So yeah, I was there. In the Rock and Soul Museum in Graceland. Sun Records, obviously, Sun Records.
Yeah.
Was pretty impressive. And a lot of good things happening in Sun Records too, because the COVID, we were only 5 people doing the tour. And people in Memphis are extremely nice. So most of the people working at the museums, Graceland, and Sun Records, they are musicians too. So I was talking with them at the end of the tour, with the guy that he did the tour in Sun Records. He allowed me to take a couple of pictures inside by myself too, with the Elvis microphone that he used in the 50s, and B.B. King and Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, all the Sun Records guys. And it's pretty impressive. The Sun Records is still like the 50s. They didn't change anything. The same walls, the same roof, the same soundproof. It's probably the corner with more rock and roll in the world, because everything happened there in the 50s. All the big stars, including Elvis Presley, of course. It was very nice. There's a cool thing. When I was in Beale Street, I went to a bar to have a Tennessee whiskey. So there was a blues band playing. So the host asked me, "Are you going to drink or eat?" Well, I'm going to drink. And they say, "Well, you have to eat because this thing with the COVID, we cannot only serve you drinks." Well, but don't you worry. I will bring you something, you pay for that, and that's all. So she gave me literally one onion ring. She charged me 50 cents and then a Jack Daniels. So that's it. So this thing about restaurants and bars is being so ridiculous. So, okay, now if I eat in one onion ring, the Kubai is not happening. So anyway, I paid for the onion ring. I paid for the whiskey. I was listening to the band. So they were pretty awesome. Blues in Memphis are very good. So I went to tip the band. And I gave them $20. So they saw when I put the $20 and said, whoa, $20. It's been a while. They said, "Thank you very much, man. We're struggling so bad." And say, "I know, I'm a musician too." And I was a stand-up in that time. And all the bar was looking at me. But, "Oh, yeah, but what is that accent from?" They said, "Well, I'm from Ohio." No, I'm from Memphis. I'm from Spain. And they said, "But I live in Austin, Texas." So then the guitar player said, "Okay, I have a question for you. Which is better, 6th Street or Beale Street?" So, well, I say, since I live in Austin, I will have to say 6th Street. But after seeing you playing, I have to say Beale Street. so they like it, and they play a Stevie Ray Vaughan song for me. And that was a cool story. Like, very nice people.
Do you remember what the bar was?
Boogie Rom or Boogie, at the beginning, Boogie Rom or something like that.
I think I might know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some great. I've seen some amazing bands there. Yeah. Those BB King clubs are always fun to go to as well. I saw like really great bands. So I think even just the house bands are so good, at those places, both in Memphis and Nashville. That'd be a really fun region to tour, man. It'd be a lot of fun to play those places.
Well, we were about to play there. Do you remember? I was talking with Memphis. I think it was 2019. We were about to play in Beale Street 2 nights. So it didn't happen because I was trying to book Dallas in Arkansas, and it didn't happen. So, but I still have the contact. They really want the band. And they have like a biker night too. So Memphis is a pretty good place. I love it. So the music's still there, and all the vintage things. It surprised me in a good way.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool there too to go play in Memphis, play Alone with the King, and tell that story. It's a cool story.
Yeah. People love Elvis there.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, of course. We will for sure. We will.
Yeah, just trying to get through this, man. We'll see what happens. And back to Gibson. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something, some sort of Gibson thing too, right? And in 2021, maybe something at the showroom or something.
Probably at the beginning of the year, we need to talk about it. I was talking with Gibson. In fact, they offered me, like, would you like to do a live stream concert here at the Songroom? Yeah, that would be awesome. And we were talking about to do it. However, since we have the single coming and the video, I think we have enough for this year. And I think it could be awesome to start 2021 doing a live stream in Gibson Showroom. And
that was a good call. You got the holidays coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on. Singles coming out, focus on that, and then come out.
Probably we will.
Yeah, with that.
Yeah, but probably we will do it. The Austin Gibson Showroom is fantastic. I love it. I have a great stage and a pretty cool place, and
now
for sure we will rock.
I think about it, the first time I ever saw you was at the Gibson Showroom because it was a Grammy party is what it was.
Yeah. In fact, I was cleaning myself.
Bathroom story.
From the other day because and I saw that picture that we had in the Grammys that we are so cool in the Grammys and you are eating nachos.
I forgot about that. I'm sitting there eating a fucking nacho. Yeah. That's right.
We were trying to look. We were posing in.
I was like eating the nacho, had like a nice shirt on. Yeah.
Yeah, in front of the Grammys banner, like pretending that we are Grammy winners. And you are eating nachos. That was cool.
Yeah, man, that would have been.
I will send it to you, that picture.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's probably. Maybe it's on your, would you just come up as like a memory or something? I think I saw it recently too, right? Like on a Facebook memory or something.
I was a Grammy member during 3 years. But when I moved to LA, I was a Grammy member in the Texas chapter. When I moved to LA, I lost the membership because I need to request again in Los Angeles and California that I didn't. So when I came back, I didn't do neither with the Texas chapter again, but I will.
I mean, yeah, obviously now everything's virtual. They're doing a virtual mixer this year. Yeah, man. Well, I wish you were. I don't know how this is going to turn out because you kind of drop in here and there. It's been a fun interview, obviously. Anyway, anything else you want to plug before we have Rob come in here and tell a shit story?
Well, obviously, thank you very much for this interview and for the support. And 2021, we made it with 2020, almost. We almost made it in 2020. And rock and roll, we are survivors. We are used to hard times, so let's do it. Let's do it again in 2021. Let's see what happens. Let's fight for this and keep on rocking in the free world.
Well, you came out, like you said, 2019 was a great year, building contacts, the Mayans, setting up the Gibson thing, Eileen and San Antonio, just all of these, Lethal Threat, all these different things. And then really kicked off 2020 with a bang, did the live performance, came out, went and played Gibson, at the NAMM show, and then come back and world shuts down, COVID happens, there's nothing you can do about it. But here, this sort of accidental cool thing happened. You go have a day alone with the king in Graceland, write a song. And so now ending the year with this kick-ass new single and video. So that's pretty cool, man. At least your bookmark fucked up year of 2020 well,
That was the idea, because I have more songs, some ballads, some rock and rollers, but we want to finish the year kicking ass, playing rock and roll. The song is super high energy, positive vibes, and yes, it was a tough year, no doubt about it, but we made it. We made it, and we end the year rocking out. That's what we do. So we are alive. That's the number one thing. That's the most important thing. And we are rocking. Come on.
Agreed. That's my MO right now, is stay alive.
And we have a very sexy accent.
I mean, it's not a hipster accent, so
it's not a hipster accent, but that's a lot. I say this because I did a small video, like one recorded, and Rob, they say, okay, let's. It was just one shot. It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. But all right, so we put it out, and a lot of people told me, I like it, but your accent is very thick. Well, of course. I'm from fucking Spain. What do you expect me? Today, when I say I have a podcast, they say, are you going to fake your accent? And I said, well, no.
Fake it. Yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the old Hercules movie. That's what we should do. We should just overdub like some white guy on all Bulls. Well, we got a new single coming out on the 25th. I went to Graceland.
Went to Graceland, but I can't.
Yeah, I mean, do your Texas accent one more time for the record.
You're here for the great state of Texas. Yeah. God damn it. I love my Lone Star. God damn it, love my Lone Star. I was listening to George Strait since I was a kid. Driving my pickup truck.
I want some moonshine. Put that tree down.
There was a funny story in New Braunfels. I went there. I was trying to book a gig. I don't want to say in the bar, but I was trying to book Bull y Los Bufalos gig forever there. And they never answered me. So I get pissed off. So I drove my truck there in person. I said, I'm going to book this damn gig. Yes or yes. So I went there, came in with my 6'6" foot and my cowboy boots and my Spanish accent. So hello, I introduced myself. Can I talk with the manager? Well, the manager is not here. Well, I have a CD and I would like to book a gig. So, okay, give me the CD. I will give him to him. So I'm assisting her in a good way, not in a bad way. Well, but please don't throw it in the trash because all the time this happened. So there was 2 truckers there. They were short guys. But suddenly one of them came to me and they said, are you looking for a fight? No. Are you coming here for fight? No, I came here trying to book a gig. So in those days, I was dating Roxy. I think you remember Roxy. It's a sweetie girl. I love her. But she's a shorty girl. And she told me, don't worry, Bull, I get this. Oh, now I feel very, very good. Oh, you get this? And she told me, I'm Texan. Oh, now I feel totally safe. so the guy keep insisting that he wants to fight with me. So, and then I saw he was wearing a Chevy truck cap, and I saw the same Chevy that I had outside, and he said, "Hey man, are you driving that Chevy truck?" I said, "Yeah, that's my truck. I have the same truck. No fucking way. Yes, I have it. So take a look." So he was looking at me like 5 seconds. You want to have a beer? So, all right. So and there he was. What was my?
Suddenly, you're besties,
Best friends.
and that's the
My
worst.
best friend. Suddenly.
That's the worst when you're like, you're with some girl who's like 5'2", and she's like, "Oh hell no," and she's like walking up to a gang full of guys that are just ready to throw down. And you're like, "Oh, thanks. This is going to be great for me."
But she was so proud. I love if Roxy is seeing this. I love her. We're still very good friends, and she's a sweet woman. But she's like very short, and she pushed me and said, "Don't worry, I got this." I said, "Oh, well, now I feel very protective." They said, "Oh, Bull, I'm Texan." "Oh, okay."
Well, it's got to be Texas. You can automatically whoop ass.
Yeah.
Nothing else required. Simply, he's Texan. Don't fuck with him.
So yeah, that's what it is.
Well, cool, man. Hey, man. Well, I tried texting Rob because I really want him to pop his head in there, but
let me call him. Wait, hold on there.
See what's going on. Try to squeeze one out of him if you catch my drift. Probably up the toilet.
I'm in sweating.
Bill will come back. He'll be like, "He said he'll be here in 3 hours."
He's working on something right now. He said he shouldn't have had that second pizza.
Bull walks out. Rob's nowhere to be seen. There's just like some pizza crust on the counter.
See, he can't do it.
He's shy, right? He's got shy. He's got cold feet.
Yeah, I'm very sleepy.
Oh, Rob. I thought Rob would jump at the opportunity to guest on a podcast.
You need to do a podcast with Rob.
Oh, we've talked about it, man. We'll definitely do something. I mean, I'm glad you got on and we talked about, I was like, and this was before the whole single thing came up. And I was like, well, it'd be perfect to do it right around now because it's the year anniversary of when we did the live show. And now it just turns out, boom, the single's coming out this week too. So it's perfect, man.
It is perfect.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you got on now too, because I mean, we're booked all the way through February for the most part. So it's been pretty awesome, man. That's one nice thing about doing this and just knowing all these different musicians, man. It's been pretty cool getting all these different people on and just catching up and shooting the breeze, Earth the Bull.
Yeah, and I saw Mark. What?
Just keep freezing, man. It's like I say something and I'm
freezing.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, say something and then you're just sitting there.
like Jesus Christ.
Anyway, man. Well, shit, dude. If you, I'm fucking fried. I don't even know where else to go. Just tell us a great shit story and we'll sign off. Hell bent on ruining our podcast. Everyone's just going to start tuning in and be like, yeah, all those guys want to talk about is just shitting.
Come
on, Bull, power through it.
I'm talking I have so many crazy stories, but when someone tells me, hey, tell us a story, I always, it's like, but But what I can tell you a very cool story when we play in Mexico City in a biker festival, and we were escorted by the militaries from the airport to the festival because it was a dangerous place. So we were escorted by the militaries. When we were, it was like 18,000 bikers. So we were in the sound check, and there was a lot of militaries with machine gun. So, and I was doing the sound check, and two guys show up. And I was freezing. I said, what happened? They say, well, the governor is coming, right? So, and then he told me, well, the governor wants to take pictures with the whole bands and everything. So, right. And the governor was riding a Harley Davidson, but you can tell that he was dressing as a biker, and you could tell that he was one of his first time. He was like shaking like that, the Harley Davidson. So finally, I took a picture with the governor and do it like this. I have that picture on Facebook, and two guys with a submachine gun behind of me. So that picture is on Facebook, and it was a pretty rock and roll cool story.
You know, when we were driving to Dallas, man, you were telling me some crazy shit about Mexico, right? I mean, like they fucking party all night long, right? Like if you're in the band, like you're in and they want to fucking get down and party, right? After party, right?
After and before. The thing with Mexico is the only place that I was playing when you ask for catering, they only give you twice. Most of the times when you say, hey, I want whatever, food, cheese, a bottle of whiskey for the band, most of the time they don't give you shit. But these guys, they put you double. If you ask for, I don't know, they gave them a couple of pizzas and snacks, they put you 4 pizzas, double a snack, a bottle of tequila, no, 2 bottles of tequila. And what they really want is you hanging out with them and partying. And sometimes they even sell tickets for the backstage, and you have to, by contract, staying there a couple of hours more, partying with the people that paid the bill. So I love party, they love parties, so, but you can't handle if you are on tour. We did like 27 gigs straight, and man, we were partying all the 27 gigs. I couldn't because I'm the singer, and I cannot be drinking every night. So, but if you don't do it, they like that. Like they like to drink with you, having fun. And the Mexican band, they did it. I couldn't do it. I did it too. I was partying, and I was trying to focus and do a good tour and do a good show. And they are pretty generous people.
I feel like you told me, and I don't know if it was maybe it wasn't in Mexico, but there seems like there was something you told me about a gig that you played where you guys showed up somewhere. I don't know what it was, man. And you walked in, and it was like the record stops playing, and it's just like all these, not skinhead types, but the kind of like Confederate flag, good old boys, and you're just like, oh shit. But there was some.
Oh, that was the first time that we did the first time. Kostamos was driving the van, and we get lost. I don't know how we get lost. And generally, she was the guitar player. She needed to go to the bathroom, so we stopped in a crazy gas station in the middle of nowhere. We didn't know even. We were following the GPS, but it took us for a very weird road, a very weird gas station. So we were in the whole band. We get in, we bought sandwich and things like that. So we asked for the micro oven to heat them up. And say, yeah, go to, at the end of the gas station, there is a small room open, and you have the micro oven there. Kostamos and me, the drummer, we went there and we opened the wrong door. We opened the wrong door and said, a lot of weed smoke, like a fucking wall. And then Leonard Skinner was playing a huge volume, like what is this? It was like a hiding camera or something. It was a lot of people with a rebel flag and everything, like 15 guys looking at us. Okay. And the whole band is they had a crazy party. And said, who are you? And, well, we want to eat this sandwich. So then we start talking with them. We told them that we are rock and rollers. They become to be very excited about it. And I saw then a couple of videos playing and things like that. So they thought that we were famous or whatever. So they start buying us CDs, T-shirts. So we start partying with them. And they had a crazy party. And said, what is this? Is this a bar? No, this is a speakeasy, man. So are you coming every Saturday here? No, every single day. All right. So you party. They have a private party in a gas station in the middle of nowhere. So grab a beer, man. Grab a beer. So one of the guys came to me and, where is that accent? I'm from Spain. No, you're from Australia. Well, no. You sound Australian to me. Well, now I'm from Spain. No, you don't sound Mexican. No, it's Spain, Europe, and then that. He keep insisting. God damn it, you're a tall motherfucker. But don't play with me. You sound Australian to me. Well, I'm not Australian. Yeah, blue eyes, white skin, kind of blonde. Come on. So he becomes to be upset. Well, I'm from Australia. I'm from Australia. I knew you were from fucking Australia. He said, I know you were from fucking Australia. So he stopped talking to me about Australia, and I was talking about kangaroos with him. Like, yeah. and then Kostamos was crying, laughing. And I don't know why they were talking with me all the time because, you are very tall. So this is true. You can ask the rest of the band. One guy came, say, hey, that girl wants to meet you. Excuse me? That girl over there wants to meet you. Oh, she wants to meet me. Oh, sure. So I could tell she was very shy, and they were pulling her, like forcing her. Say, oh, come on, guys, don't worry. They was forcing. She was almost as tall as me. So she came to me and very, very shy. She was kind of hot. She was very, she came to me and said, nice to meet you. And when she laughed, she only had one tooth. Believe me, only one. In the middle, I don't know how you can have one tooth. So I didn't say nothing, but Kyle Jude, the other guitar player, he started laughing and he told him, come on, Bull, sign an autograph, sign him. So the Kyle started laughing. Kostamos the guys began to be pissed off because they realized that. So one of the guys said, I think it's time to go. So we say goodbye very fast and we left. Very nice people, very crazy party. It was kind of Tarantino movie, and I'm talking about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's a deep Texas.
Yeah, that's a crazy story, man. That's a good ending point right there. I knew there was something in there. Remember, I feel that crazy shit on the way to Dallas. I was like, those are some good ones.
Oh, and I remember when Jen Lee said, oh, maybe this is a good place. And they have all outside, they have pickup traps with the red flag. Maybe.
That's when you just go shit in the woods, man. Just deal with it. For the best.
Let's try it. They were super nice with us. Super nice. Till the end. At the end, they turned a little bit. But they were super nice. Honestly, everybody was super nice with me in Texas.
That's why it's the best. That's why it's your most favorite place you've ever lived.
I love Texas. I always say that. I like the pride and I like the culture, the music, and I really like this place.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, man.
Thank you very much, guys.
It was a pleasure.
I love you too. I love Texas and I love you too.
How do you say that in Spain?
In Spain?
En español?
En español.
How do you say that in Australian?
But you know the thing, in English, you can tell a guy if he's your brother, if you may, hey, I love you, man. But in Spanish, it sounds like it doesn't sound. It sounds like Spanish is a very romantic language. You use that when for another.
Mi amor, bull. That's all. Like literally, that's all. Mi amor. Mi amor borracho, right?
Yeah, you landed. Yeah, that's what we do. We love and we drink.
That's it. That's you summed up all of Spain. Your entire all of Australia.
About Australia is love and drink.
All right, hermano. I think I got that right. Yeah, brother. Look at me dropping this mad Spanish lingo over here.
You're natural.
I'm a natural. Yeah, it was all it's Senor Todd's class, man.
Senor Todd.
Well, this has been Bull Diego from Bull y Los Bufalos. In and out with the Zoom call, but we had a blast. And the new single comes out on the 25th, Alone with the King. I can attest it's an awesome song. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome video. It was an absolute blast being a part of it. So I'm stoked, man. I can't wait to promote it. Thanks for coming on here. Go tell Rob that we just talked a bunch of shit about him literally on the podcast. And that he needs to look that.
I will. Thank you very much, guys. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Later on, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Pero es intensa, no es descubrir, se trata de vivir. Si al despertar aún respiras, no te preocupes, tan solo fue un mal día. Primero porque quiero, segundo porque puedo, tercero por el solo, cafeína y rock and roll. Sin drogas, sin alcohol, sin sustitutos de la acción. No necesito tu simpatía, alta adicción, baja motivación. Primero porque quiero, segundo porque puedo, tercero por el solo, cafeína y rock and roll. Desconocido, me siento bien, aunque voy mal, contra los instintos no se